This is Smallzy Surgery.
Hey, what's up? This is Gayle. I'm hanging out with Smallzy live from Nashville on Nova.
On the show tonight, hanging out with us in Nashville. Is it technically not hometown, but you live here now?
Yeah,
hometown
yeah,
now.
I would
Hometown.
say, yes.
Gayle, great to see you.
Great to see you.
I mean, I'm in town for Taylor Swift and for you, obviously.
Yeah, obviously.
But obviously
Come
Taylor
on.
Swift.
But it's our queen, Taylor Swift.
The queen has arrived.
Our queen, our icon, our blueprint, our everything, Taylor Swift.
Our muse.
Our muse.
You know, you've done shows so far on the because you're on the tour as well.
I am. Crazy. How did that happen? I don't know.
how has it been part of the whole thing? I have to ask.
Oh my gosh, it's been so incredible. The first night I cried, I bawled like a little baby.
Before or after?
Both.
Or
Both.
through the whole
think
thing?
all of it. Just all of it. I cried before, for sure. I ate breakfast with my family, and we were all just kind of tearing up. And then I played the show and I cried. And then after the show, I cried.
Right. And then you
I
went
was
to bed
watching her
and then
play,
in the
and then
fetal position cried.
Yeah, I cried.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of tears. I almost cry every time. One thing that I think is so incredible to see is Taylor has been breaking all of these records with this tour, which has been I mean, I'm not surprised whatsoever. Something that I'm really, really excited about is that, like, she was the first female to ever headline the Vegas stadium, and then she was able to do it twice, which was incredible.
Yeah.
And she was the first woman to ever do that. And then to put me and Biba Doobie, two young women up and coming in the music industry, with that show, really meant a lot to me, like being a part of the lineup for the first woman to ever headline that show, especially with what I'm trying to do to music. That was not something I took lightly, and it meant a lot to me. And even her first show was like the highest ticket going show of like a fully female led show, which was absolutely groundbreaking. And so to be a part of that and just to get to see her do all of these incredible things, and for her to make the choice to involve me in this in any way is just such a high honor. And so
you know
exciting.
what I like about her graciousness? When she doesn't have to be. Like, for you to take you under her wing and put you on this tour, that she doesn't have to do that. She could have no support. She could just rock out there.
Yeah,
and
she could do like a solo show for sure.
Yeah. You know, and that she uses that opportunity to, you know, get her fans and her audience to meet new artists and people that she likes is, you know, that's what I love about her.
Me too. I'm very, very, very honored to be a part of this tour.
Tell me though, did you see the Reputation tour?
I did.
Now the story on the internet that I saw goes that, like, were you 14 or something?
I was 14. 14, yes.
You were 14, and at the show at Nissan Stadium where I'm going, you were in the very back row.
I got the last seat. My mom got me tickets for Christmas, and the two of us went, and we're in the very last row at Nissan Stadium.
Yeah.
And
now she's back. And did you ever? I mean, 14-year-olds, because you moved to Nashville for music, right?
I did. Yes. I moved.
In your wildest dreams, when you were 14, watching her on Reputation.
I like the wordplay. Wildest dreams. Sorry, I had to say it.
Could you have seen yourself ever sharing a stage with at some stage in the future?
Watching her play Reputation selfishly really made me want to play Nissan Stadium.
Okay.
And I would never be able to comprehend playing a show at Taylor Swift. Like, if I knew that was a possibility, I would have wanted that my whole entire life. I just never thought I would be in a position in my career, like, truly to tour with her. Like, I just never... How in the world would I, like, meet Taylor Swift in my life and in my career to then, like, tour with her? Like, she's been the biggest superstar, like, my whole entire life. Yeah. And so I was like, I don't know how, I don't know when. One day I would really love to play Nissan Stadium. And I remember Taylor at Reputation, she was at Nissan Stadium, and she talked about the fact that she played the CMA Awards, or not the CMA Awards, it was like the Country Music Fest. Yeah. And she played Nissan Stadium, and she only played for a couple minutes because she had like a little slot. It was like a festival kind of lineup. And she said she always wanted to come back and headline, and that was her first time being able to come back and headline after playing that festival. And that really spoke to me. Yeah. That she played it, and then she wanted to do it again, and so then she had the determination to have her goals and have her plan, and she was able to come back. And that spoke to me, and I was like, I want to do that. I want something, and then I would love to do it. And so for years, when I'd past Nissan Stadium, I would knock on my window and I'd say one day, just one day, no matter what. I would just say one day, and I didn't know how, I didn't know when, but that was my true goal after playing in Nashville for so long. I really, really, really wanted to play Nissan Stadium. And then to do it with Taylor Swift, the person that gave me the motivation and belief to think that maybe one day I could possibly do it at some point.
Yeah.
For it to happen today, it's just it's such
crazy.
a dream come true. It's insane. It's insane.
So crazy. You know what? And obviously, Nashville is a beautiful city.
I love it.
What I have seen so far, I have loved. Please tell me some things that I must do here. Hattie B's chicken, is that...
Hattie B's chicken, it's good. It's spicy. Do you like spicy food?
No. Well, how spicy?
I've cried
That's
eating
spicy.
If you get the spiciest chicken, it made me cry. Like I've teared up. I've teared up over it.
Because I love food, so
Yes.
I want to eat, and I want to have some Southern fried chicken. And
Yes.
Hattie B's just was like, I saw a sign.
You definitely should. It's very much like a Tennessee thing. There's also, I believe, Prince's. That's the one.
Okay,
That's the OG.
Okay, Prince's.
Because isn't it like, I don't know if this is true, and I feel like this
Make
is
it
like
up.
a
I don't
Tennessee
care.
lore,
Say
okay?
it.
So
Say it.
basically, like Prince, is it Prince or Princesses? Princes. So basically, Princes, it used to be this like married couple that like had this little chicken shop, and basically the husband was cheating on the wife.
No.
And the wife found out, and so she made him dinner every night, and she was pissed. So she made the chicken really spicy because she was mad, and she was trying to get like revenge on him, and she made it as spicy as she possibly could, and then he ate it and loved it. Like, it was the best, and she was so mad. She was like,
"Is that so?
You need to like, this needs to hurt you. Like, you need to be crying. Like, this is like a punishment."
Yeah.
And he was like, "This is so good. Like, you have to make this.
Okay.
We have to sell this." And then they end up getting a divorce, and so they split. And so I believe that the husband is Heidi B's, and then that the wife is Princess. I don't know if this is
That's
true.
a great Nashvilleian
This is a
folklore story.
it's a folklore.
Oh, I love that.
I don't know if it's true.
Sign
but
me up for that. Okay, so fried chicken is definitely like
yes, and apparently it's like cheating fried chicken.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but it's really, really spicy, and apparently that's why it was like really, really spicy. Also, I would say Proper Bagel is incredible.
Proper Bagel.
Proper Bagel, they have like cinnamon toast crunch bagels or like rosemary olive oil bagels, but they have like the best cream cheeses. Like, they just like stack it on. Like, you'll get like so much cream cheese.
Sign me up.
The biggest bagel. It's great. And they have like lavender cream cheese or like a lavender bagel. You can get like a normal
You know what?
bagel or
After this
something,
interview,
like,
you can
fun.
take me on a food tour of
Perfect.
Nashville. We can go
I'm trying to
downtown
think-
and you can just take me through all of the places.
I'm trying to actually like think of a nice spot to tell you to be at. Like, what is even?
Oh, you know what? Wherever. The grungier the better too.
Grungier the better. Oh gosh.
Can you eat out of food trucks though?
Loveless Cafe. Loveless Cafe.
Loveless
you have
Cafe.
to go to.
Can someone write that down for me? Thanks.
Yes. Yeah.
Let's talk about music.
Music.
New
Never
song.
heard of it.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank
What's with
you.
the self-loathing though?
Safe self-loathing?
Yes, you are pretty.
Oh, thank you. You know, here's the thing. It's not even about not wanting to be pretty or me not thinking that I'm pretty. I think there's a time in my life where I have felt extremely objectified by people in my life because they only saw me as pretty. And I think there's times where I've heard the phrase, and I think a lot of female friends of mine have been like, "You're so lucky you're pretty." And at times, like, yeah, I'm lucky. But then there's times where it like makes you feel like, and I'm sorry to curse, but like shit. Like, it just makes you feel so powerless.
It's it kind of is dismissive of anything else you have to offer.
Yeah, it's just like when that's all somebody whittles you down to. And I think I had a lot of guy friends that thought it was cool and like cute to like romanticize a friendship and then not treat you the same after. And I think it was hard for me because I also was having a hard time maintaining like platonic friendships with people, and it was kind of hard for me to differentiate like romantic and sexual platonic feelings. And I think a lot of my friends were also kind of struggling with the same thing, and I just at times just felt very objectified by the end of some of my friendships because after we crossed the line I just wasn't treated with the same respect, and it really like hurt my feelings because I realized that they were just like wanting something from me.
Yeah.
And once they got it, I was just less interesting to them, and it just is such a shitty feeling when somebody just dwindles you down to that. And I feel like a lot of friends of mine have been able to relate to that, and I had a lot of conversations about it, and I just felt like that was where I am in my life and where I am on this tour. I just thought it was a good time in my life to kind of talk about that again. I think You're Just Horny and Sleeping with My Friends Sleeping with My Friends is more like sad, and You're Just Horny is like angrier.
Yeah.
And this is more of like a point of frustration and trying to like be honest to like
Yeah.
your friend, you know?
You're so, like, for someone your age, you have such a macro look on emotions and feelings.
Oh,
That's a compliment.
thank you.
Yeah, no, like I'm just thinking about myself at 18. I wouldn't even have been would experience or could have experienced something similar, but wouldn't even be able to work out what it was I was experiencing, let alone be able to put it together or manifest it into words and express it, and then play music and instruments and put it into song form.
Well, thank you. I think honestly, the past year, almost 2 years, I think made me have to really dig deep in myself and find self-awareness.
Yeah.
And that's what I've been trying my best to do, because I think when you have criticism and the complete opposite of criticism, praise, especially from other sources, and at times it's not always coming from like human beings, it's coming from like a screen and all of that.
Oh yeah.
I think you need to be very like self-aware about how things affect you and how you feel. And I have to be very self-aware about my confidence and where I get it from and who I let like tip over the bucket and who I let take away from the bucket of my own confidence, you know. So I think, you know, the past almost 2 years have really helped me try and be more aware of my emotions.
Again, to even be aware of like knowing where you get that because it could be the success you've had over the last 2 years, it could be very easily to be like run away from anybody, right?
Yeah,
and
it's
think that they
terrifying.
are the top shit, you know, like this is it, this is me, particularly if you're getting the positive, you know, feedback via a screen, that if you don't process that in the right way, if it ever gets bad, how do you handle that? And if it ever goes away, how do you handle that? Because if you take it, if you believe what it is that you get and you don't have your own identity beyond it, it can get very
scary.
Yeah.
It's scary.
Well, I tip my hat to you for the maturity.
Oh, thank you.
But it feels patronizing because I don't mean it to sound patronizing.
No, it's not patronizing.
Last time I saw you in Germany, we talked about you coming to Australia. Now, I
Yes.
think you said you would have loved to have come to Australia this year.
Yes.
But then obviously Taylor said, please tour.
Yes.
And then Pink said, come tour.
That she did.
Yes.
She did.
And then so Australia has to wait just a little bit longer?
Yes, I think so. You know, I obviously have been trying to make my way out to Australia, but I think I do have a lot of anxiety when it comes to flying. It is something that makes me very uncomfortable, and I've realized that for the past year. And I have to be very, very aware of how touring affects my mental health.
Oh my God.
Because it's something that I'm
There's
trying
nothing sexy nor glamorous about living out of a suitcase or never being
in a
back
hotel
home
room,
in your own.
and it's really hard, and you get sick a lot, and you just miss your house, and even like the food you're eating just like so
Miss the routine?
different. Yeah, I do, and
Yep.
I have to be very, very aware of my mental health, especially because music is something I'm trying to do long term, and I think more than ever people are trying to focus on their mental health in the music industry.
Totally.
And when I go to Australia, I want to be able to stay there and like be myself and appreciate what's happening, and to be able to like actually play shows and stay there for a long amount of time. And you know, these touring opportunities this year came up so unexpectedly, and I felt like I really, really wanted to give my time and attention to these tours. And you know, I haven't done a headlining tour in a minute, and there might be.
Well, I'm going to tell you, after the 2 tours you're involved with, when you come to Australia and you play shows, I expect a moment where you dive underneath the stage, and then the LED screen, you pop up at the other end.
Me and my $1 million budget.
Yep.
No,
and then,
you're right.
whoa.
Okay.
But then now you're about to go and do Pink, and I don't know if you've ever seen Pink before, but she has the famous harness part where she flies around the arena. I expect you to work both of those into your set.
So I'm going to do a backflip every other song, and then you can't forget about the splits.
Yeah,
you
of
know,
course.
and in the clubs that I will be playing, I'm going to attach a trapeze, and you know, and then we're just going to wild out. It's going to be like a circus.
Glad you can see it. I'm glad
plus
you
a
can see it.
headlining show.
Yeah.
I've been practicing my calisthenics.
I'm glad you are on the same page as
Yes.
me. The new song is called Don't Call Me Pretty. Congratulations on everything today.
Thank you.
Now I'm going to get from you a whole bunch of fried chicken and restaurant locations that I need to check out.
All the restaurants.
All of the restaurants. Gayle, great to see you. Thanks for chatting.
Great to see you. I miss you already.
Smallzy Surgery
is a Nova podcast. For more great shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.au.